All right. I am going to introduce you to Emily. Emily is a customer persona that I created, and it's based on simulated customer for a real business. So my brother is a co-owner of a company called Paris Service Group, and they provide heating and cooling and plumbing services in the Vancouver region. Emily is a made-up person based on made-up information, but it demonstrates the process that we went through and gives you a good sense of what's possible. So today, when you see what she does, you'll have a sense of what you'll be able to do when you run the playbook for yourself on your own business. And when you feed it the real data, you'll get results that are much more powerful and tailored to your business and really a good way to test your marketing. So let's meet Emily here. So Emily is a homeowner on the North Shore. She's in her 30s with a young family, and she's in an older home that often has issues with plumbing and heating and cooling. She's looking for fast, trustworthy help when things break, and unfortunately, they break fairly often. So she's going to give us her feedback on some scenarios that we'll show here in just a minute. So what we're going to do is Emily provides feedback on the things that are working well in terms of the questions we're asking around the strengths of the marketing, areas for improvement that she thinks doesn't quite resonate with her perspective, and then recommendations on revisions for things that you can change to get a better response. So Emily, you just landed on our website because you have a home emergency. How does it look from your point of view? So the things that she's looking for well-trusted service providers. So trust hits the mark there. Same day service, because this is an emergency situation, 24/7 on call support. So these are all tick the boxes for her in terms of things that are important, as well as she sees that her home in the North Shore is in the service area. And so that there's an immediate service there. Some things that she identifies as things that she'd like to see improved. The hero section, she said, it's not quite aligning with her need for emergency response. Feels a little bit generic from a perspective of somebody who's needing an emergency repair. There's some concern about pricing. As you can see, there's several areas for improvement, and then takes those areas of improvement and suggests how to actually go better connect with the persona to resonate with the things that matter to her. And then it gives an overall summary of the different things, what's working and what's missing. So from a perspective of a general assessment of the website, we've got some good piece of information here. Let's go a little deeper into looking now if Emily has a more specific situation. So we're going to say, Emily, the temperature outside is -10 and your furnace just quit. Walk me through what you do to go find a solution. All right. So the first thing she does is she panics. She's got a young family. The kids are cold and the air is already the temperature's dropping in the house. So she tries to check the thermostat and figure out what's going on, but can't figure it out, can't fix it. So then she goes through the steps of what a typical customer like this would do. So there'd be a search phase where they'll look for certain search keywords and things here. So this is a place where we could dig a little deeper. We could ask Emily, what other kind of search terms might you consider searching for? So these are great for looking at if you're doing paid ads or looking to build your SEO or AI SEO. Lots of people are using AI tools to search now. You can start to look at like what keywords are going to match up there. And then importantly, she's not necessarily looking for guidance through social media. She's like, I want to find and search for somebody who can help me, and I want to call them and talk to a person. This is something that, we'll probably talk about AI receptionists and stuff and call directing. This can be something that you should be careful with if you do emergency service. Does a person who's having an emergency want to get directed and talk to an AI, or do they want to talk to a real person that feels like they can help them faster? So those are some things to consider. You might want to test with a persona like this to see what that perspective is. And then contingency while waiting, she's going to figure out like some things to do to keep the house warm. So that might be something as well. Maybe your website gives some tips. If like your furnace breaks in the winter, here's ways that you can kind of keep your house warm while you're waiting for service. So you can see some interesting ideas starting to pop up here. So these could be ideas also to put in like a monthly newsletter, especially as we get into furnace servicing season. All right. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to ask Emily to review a Facebook ad that we're thinking about running. And she's in an older home and she's thinking about doing a furnace upgrade. As the heating season comes up, And what are some things that might make her look at a Facebook ad around furnace upgrades? We're proposing that we're going to really play up the whole rebates side of things. Summer's almost over and your furnace is going to be working hard again soon. Don't wait until the cold snap to find out that it's not up to the task. Then there's over $3,000 of rebates. So we've got some copy that we'll use for the Facebook ad, and let's ask her what she thinks. So again, she's going to go through the things that are working, the strengths of the copy, and then areas for improvement and some things that can hold her back. All right. So because Emily's very concerned about cold weather with her children, we can't see it here, but in the customer persona, one of the key concerns is around the comfort of her family. And so being without heat in the winter is a serious concern for her. So this is why this piece is really highlighted around urgency for making sure that there isn't a breakdown in the winter. So there's some things that we can adjust here. The other thing we could do is we could ask her to do a rewrite. So let's say, Emily, rewrite this ad to align with your eating needs. All right. So this now emphasizes the comfort and preventing breakdowns and being caught flat-footed when with an emergency repair in the winter, and then pushes the rebates down out of the headline into the second part, which is kind of a bonus. So it's a little adjustment that resonates better with this persona. Having that perspective, the lens of this specific customer, can really help you to refine and adjust and run a what if scenario with different personas for your business, and be able to get perspective and feedback on that. So Emily is a simulated customer perspective. So she's a proxy for real customers. So what she can do is we can simulate her thoughts and feelings and behaviors to understand what real customers like her might do. And so this can help us to reveal where to focus our marketing efforts and to get the greatest impact. So we can do things like website reviews, search behavior of how she might go and find the different service providers and what she's looking for, help review ads or other content that we're putting out there and what channel she might be looking at and coming across. You can see what's possible here, and it's a pretty powerful tool.